just smoking a joint right now in the midst of a thought train. So I just spoke to my mother. I started my new job recently, obviously, because I made the video and I was telling you guys about it, how aligned it is with what I'm doing right now. By the way, marijuana is not the enemy. It's not evil. If you use it with presence, and if you use it to reflect instead of numb pain, right? So I'm not numbing anything. I'm not escaping anything. I'm using it to widen my train of thought and how I feel and think about the things that happen to me in everyday life, so I can break them down more easily and align them to God and to a higher purpose of bettering myself, right? So I called my mum. I told her about like how my day's going, all this, all that. She says, my auntie and her family started watching my videos. I'm like, okay. She says, like, what's up with Vinny? He seems strange. And then my mum said that I just told them that's how he is. Now, I understand what she was doing. What my mother was doing wasn't evil, right? It's just fear talking. So she thinks by her telling me what others think of me, it's going to bring me back to normal, right? Back to reality, which is not going to happen because my fire is too strong now and I'm too aligned with God, right? And I wouldn't want to go back anyway. Like, going back means death, right? Being like everyone else, being normal, being like another gray dot, right? Like, just like blending in the crowd, like never voicing your opinion, never shining, never being different, like never being your true self because you're afraid of what others think, or just like you're so weak as a person because you don't work on yourself and you're like stuck in these patterns of like, just like waking up every day, going to a job you hate, coming back, eating food, sleeping, watching TV. Like, it's disgusting. And it's like, it's dead, right? It's absolutely dead. And it kills your soul. It kills your fire. It kills everything inside you. But anyway, so my mother thinks, by telling me that, I'm gonna like think about it maybe, or like try and go back. But back to what? What is there to go back to? Just sadness, pain. I love being how I am. I love taking my t-shirt off in front of everyone in town centers, in train stations, and skipping rope and dancing and being myself and enjoying my own company. Eating food wherever I want, right? If I want to eat a yogurt, if I want to eat a pizza, I'll eat it on the street. I'll walk. I don't walk through the world anymore in the eyes of others. I walk through the world based on how I feel, what I want to do, and there's no outside influence, there's no outside source. This is why I enjoy being by myself. This is why I don't like having others around me unless I can learn something from them, or I feel like there's like an energetic connection where I can build something with them as people, right? Which is, that's God, right? That's what God is. It's being completely present in the moment, okay with yourself, without the fear of other people. And see, my mother, she's going to look at this entire video and say, oh, he's just smoking weed. This is what I mean. And I love my mother, but like, this is like the majority of humans, right? The human population, just labeling things. And if they don't understand something, they're like, oh, he's doing it just because of that. He's not normal because he deleted everyone. He's normal. Do you see what I mean? It's like they have to name it because their soul doesn't understand it. Because they never did the inner work inside. So they don't understand like that being still, being away from others in stillness, right? Jesus went in the desert for 40 days alone. The Buddha went and sat under the tree for 7 days and 7 nights, because being alone means you can be still. And what happens if you're still? God comes to you. You get your thoughts. You can work them out. You can listen to them. Why am I getting this thought? Why do I feel like this about that certain situation? Why do I feel like this about that person? What in that person made me feel like that about myself? What in me do I still need to change so then I don't feel like that about that person or that experience, right? You learn, you listen to yourself, because your thoughts are not there to attack you. They're not there to hurt you. You know, I shouldn't be eating that cake. Oh, I'm going to eat it anyway. You know, like, oh, I know I should be going to the gym, but like, oh, I'll just watch TV. I know if I'll eat that, I'll feel bad about myself, but you know, I'll just do it anyway. It's that sort of thing. That's what humans do. That's what the majority of humans do. That's what my family does. And you know, despite them saying these things about me, I'm still going to keep making the videos because they're learning. Even without them even knowing, they are learning subconsciously, right? And how do I know that? Because every time I call my mother now, which is rarely, because, you know, I need to protect my flame and my inner fire and my stillness. But when I do speak to her, she stops herself and she thinks, right? Let me explain. So yesterday when I called her, I said like, you know, we were talking about like how I am, when I'm going to be starting a new job, what I'm doing. And, you know, I told her like at break times, I'm going to skip some rope. I'm going to like exercise in front of everyone because I like movements. You need movements, right? The soul, the mind and the body has to be connected. The Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, right? That's how you feel good about yourself. Because if you train your mind by like what I'm doing now, thinking about your thoughts, talking about your thoughts, working out why you think like that, why you feel like that, what it means, that's training your mind. Training your body, exercising movements trains your body. Now, if you have both already and you go in stillness, meaning alone, and you breathe and you listen to yourself, your body, then it's like, that's the spirit. And then you have all three and you're aligned with God. That's the secret, right? So I was telling my mother, and she was like, I could tell she wanted to say, people are going to think it's weird. I could tell. But she stopped herself, right? So she said like, oh, I'm not even going to say anything because I'll know you'll just block me, right? So she tried to get a little jab in there, but she stopped herself. And I actually, like, after I ended the phone call, I sent her a message saying like, I'm proud of you. I know you're learning, and I know that was hard to do, but I love you and I'm proud of you because you're learning. And this is the thing. She's watching a video, she's trying to understand why I feel the need to remove myself from the situation out of love, right? Love sometimes means distance, not closeness, right? So me removing myself from the situation and from the people around me that make me feel a certain way, like I'm not heard and I'm not seen, I remove myself. I make my own videos to myself, and by them watching it, they'll listen to it and they'll think, oh, you know, he's actually not crazy. He's thinking like that because maybe I was trying to control him a little bit based on how I feel about myself and the world and how I fear the world. And because I wouldn't do that, because I would be scared, because I would think people would judge me, then I'm going to try and stop him because I love him, trying to help him by bringing him down, back into reality, back into fear, back into being like everyone else, being unheard, being quiet, being the quiet person in the room who doesn't speak his mind because he's afraid of what others would think. No, that's how she thinks because she never learned to do the inner work inside first, right? She never learned to battle her thoughts and understand that your thoughts are not there to hurt you, but they're there to say out loud into the world, right? So you can listen to it and understand why you're thinking the way you think. And it's, you know, everything is connected, right? And me seeing a pigeon just land on that tree I know is God telling me that I'm aligned, I'm listening, I'm protected, I'm safe, because nothing's random, right? Animals, when they come near you, you know, deer, butterflies, bunnies, cats, crows, you know, it's, and you're on a path, it's like they're telling you, you know, you're protected. Everything you're saying is true. I don't know, like, it does get lonely sometimes, right? Because I'm still trying to manifest her into my reality, right? My mirror, right? Like the girl of my dreams, who I can feel completely around, completely like myself around, who I can just speak my mind, I can build with her, I can do things with her, and she'll be a mirror to me because she'll be the same. She won't want to be in the crowds, but this is what I'm like listening to, and like this is how I'm gonna like, I'm trying to understand slowly, like, she's not gonna be found in the crowd. She'll be found in places like where I go, like what I want to do, in stillness, right? Alone, in nature, in libraries, in quiet places. You're not going to find her in a club. You're not going to find her in like a loud room, a crowded room, because I wouldn't go there. And if I wouldn't go there, then that means she wouldn't go there. Because you have to be a mirror, right? The universe, the world is a mirror. What you feel like from the inside, that's what gets reflected into the outside, right? It's the the law of attraction, or is it the law of synchronicity? It's one of those. It's true, it's, you do the inner work first and everything else comes after. And once you have all three, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the mind, body, and the soul, then you won't let things bother you anymore. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if my auntie and my family think I'm strange, or my mum thinks I'm strange, because I wouldn't want to be like them. And if I wouldn't want to be like them, then I wouldn't take advice from them, right? Why would I? I wouldn't want to live like how they lived and how my mum lived. And not because there's anything wrong with them. They just haven't done the inner work. They numb themselves. They don't go after their dreams. They don't work on their body. They don't think about their thoughts. They don't try and dream. It's like the child inside them got numbed over the years, and like he got forgotten, and he's still like screaming out inside them saying like, oh, please remember me. But they don't, and they go out of their way to try and silence the child. Well, I won't. I'm never going to let the inner child die from me, right? Because that's God. It's the inner child of wonder, of awe, of still looking at the world like it's beautiful and it's like brand new, trying new things. When I get enough money and I move away to a bigger city, I want to do street dancing. I always wanted to learn that, right? Just like how I started Muay Thai, and I love it, and I love training. It's something new. It's like, it humbles you. It's something exciting, right? I don't know. Just keep faith. Do the inner work. Talk to yourself. Be your best friend. Don't listen to others. Because just because they don't understand, they fear it and they judge it, right? So, yeah.